Welcome back, everyone, and moving right along, it is time for our second session, which focuses on the EIT in the context of Horizon Europe. Now, we just heard, obviously, from Klaus and Cecilia Worrell about R&D investment and investment in innovation, and in December, here we are nearing the end of Horizon 2020, which is the largest research and innovation funding program in the world, as it happens. Now, its successor program is called Horizon Europe, and that will take us all the way through from January of next year to December 2027, with an even larger R&I program of about 100 billion euros to secure Europe's global competitiveness. But many of you have probably heard negotiations have been dragging on, and there are some concerns about delay of its launch. So it's time to look at how the EIT will benefit this time round from this funding program and how it can pass that benefit on to its partners. And I'm really pleased to welcome our first keynote speaker this morning, Angelova-Krasteva, and she is currently Director for Innovation, International Cooperation and Sport at the DG for Education, Youth, Sport and Culture, and she's joining us from Brussels. Antoinetta, can you hear me? Are we well connected?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. Okay, so Antoinetta, I'm very much looking forward to hearing your overview of what to expect from Horizon Europe and the EIT in that context, and so the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone. I would like first to start by thanking for the opportunity to speak at the first summit of the EIT manufacturing, and also to welcome all participants in this event. Of course, at the end of the first year of implementation of activities is always a very good moment to look back, to take stock of what's been done, also to look at the first lessons learned, but also to look ahead. And I would like to use this opportunity to also congratulate Klaus and Cecilia for their commitment and all the work done over the past year. Of course, as you know, the EIT manufacturing forms together with the EIT urban mobility, the last wave of knowledge and innovation communities that have been launched by the EIT under the current Horizon 2020 program. And as you know, the EIT is a new body which is supervised and by the European Commission with the mission to increase the innovation capacity of the EU in order to address major societal challenges. Of course, the EIT is recognized already for its unique model, as it is based on the so-called knowledge triangle, bringing together and ensuring cooperation between academia, research, and business. And the aim is indeed to create innovation ecosystems that are covering the entire value chain of innovation, from education to the market, and to achieve a systemic impact. So the EIT has already achieved a lot over the past more than 10 years. And we can safely say that the EIT model is the way forward to foster innovation at EU level, which is why also the Commission has the ambition for the EIT under Horizon Europe. The EIT Awards 2020 that took place yesterday also show the high quality of the graduates, innovators, and ventures that are supported by the EIT and the wider EIT community. And I'm also happy and would like to congratulate also the EIT manufacturing for its success in these awards, with Filippo Bosco, the CEO of the Blue Sense Diagnostics, who won the EIT Venture Award. Of course, these awards put some faces behind the impressive figures of the EIT achievements, but I'm sure that you will hear more about that from Martin, from the director of the EIT. But what I need to underline is that the Commission has taken into consideration the achievements of the EIT over the past years, as well as it has acknowledged its potential. So on this basis, the proposal of the Commission is to further strengthen the role and the place and position of the EIT under Horizon Europe by proposing also an ambitious budget. We know that the negotiations are still ongoing and there is still uncertainty about the final outcome of these negotiations, but still this is the ambition of the Commission, and also, as I said, to give a central role of the EIT in the EU strategy to foster innovation in the EU. And this is needed actually to that the EU is a global industrial player, and that the EU becomes and ensures that there is a more resilient, more digital and green society and economy. So the EIT is a part of a coordinated effort of the EU to deliver on key policy priorities, and there is an entire pillar under Horizon Europe, which is dedicated to that, and the EIT is there with the European Innovation Council and with the European Innovation Ecosystems. There is already cooperation established by the EIT and the new European Innovation Council. We have concrete examples of cooperation between the knowledge and innovation communities through the pilot coordination and support activity. And as you might have already heard, there is also a letter of intent that has been recently signed, which aims to further foster this collaboration. It's only with a number of knowledge and innovation communities so far, but it paves the way for closer collaboration with the other KICs as well, including with the manufacturing, EIT manufacturing. And this will create new opportunities for ventures that are supported by the KICs in order to get better access to the funding that the European Innovation Council is also offering. So the EIT has been designed to complement and synergize with other instruments at EU level and also at national level. And this is primarily done by the knowledge and innovation communities, which are focused on major societal challenges. And obviously manufacturing is one of these challenges. I will not take too much time to remind you how important it is for the manufacturing sector in Europe, not only for creating growth and jobs, but also to reach the target of decarbonization of the economy. Europe is the leader in advanced value-adding manufacturing technology, and it needs strong innovation, manufacturing technology, and also business creation and education capabilities in order to remain in this position. So the goal of the European industry policy that was adopted in March of this year is in the center of these topics. So what was the priority in March became even more pressing with the COVID crisis and the need to rebuild our economy and our society, and also to accelerate the transition of our economy in order to become more resilient and digital without losing also the climate target from sight. This call for profound changes in some sectors. It calls for new skills, for new technologies, but also for new business models in order to address the value chains that have been severely disrupted. And this is precisely where we expect also the EIT manufacturing to make a difference over the coming years. There is a tall order, maybe, but we need to be ambitious, especially at the start of a new adventure. So the EIT manufacturing can look already at the achievements of the other knowledge and innovation communities that have been there for longer. Some of them have successfully managed to take leading roles in some important Commission initiatives. And let me give you the examples of the battery and raw materials alliances. This type of achievements and contribution are crucial to understand that the EIT model is not simply about creating startups. It demonstrates also that the knowledge and innovation communities have the managing capacity, that they're able to activate key actors across entire innovation chains in different sectors in order to achieve common ambitious objectives. And we are, of course, on the Commission side, very proud to see the important role played by the knowledge and innovation communities when contributing and delivering on key EU priorities. And this is what innovation ecosystems is all about, and this is also the core of the activity of the EIT and its KICs. Therefore, I encourage strongly the EIT manufacturing as well to work in close collaboration with the relevant Commission services and to work hand in hand to help identify policy challenges that are lying ahead and to tackle them efficiently. I know that the KIC is already actively engaging with respective Commission services, and that the presence of two Commission colleagues from DG Connect and DG Research and Innovation as keynote speakers tomorrow indeed demonstrate that the will is here on the Commission side to build a trustful and constructive relationship. Obviously, speaking from DG ERG, which is in charge also for education, I would like to encourage more activities and collaboration in education and skills, notably also by contributing to major key priorities such as the Digital Education Action Plan. The EIT and the knowledge and innovation communities have already participated actively in the implementation of the current action plan, and we of course very strongly encourage them to continue contributing to the objectives of the new plan, which will run for the period 21-27. Amongst other things, the new action plan includes activities that are encouraging to have more women in science, technology, engineering, and maths, the known STEM, but also in digital studies and careers, with the objective to reach 40,000 female students, women, girls, and women trained over the next period. So you all know that attracting women in the manufacturing sector, but also operating its digital transition are huge challenges. And we welcome the fact that the EIT manufacturing has included them in its main priorities over the coming years. I would also like to encourage collaboration with the other KICs, which is the best way to achieve systemic changes and deliver on global challenges that by nature cut across several sectors and fields. And let me also stress the importance of the EIT cross-KIC activities, which offer this possibility and which demonstrate and have demonstrated already that the KICs can achieve more when they are joining up forces and working together. I would like also to highlight the importance for a KIC at the beginning of its journey to build a solid basis to prepare for its financial sustainability in the medium to long term. You know that this is a specificity of the EIT model. It is a challenge, and all KICs need to always keep this objective in mind when designing and implementing their strategies and activities. Finally, I would like also to emphasize the importance of openness and transparency, the importance of involving partners from across the European Union. This objective of the EIT is to increase the innovation capacity of the Union, and there is no better way to do this than to put extra efforts towards the member states that lag behind in terms of innovation. And this is where the EIT Regional Innovation Scheme tremendously contribute with its aim Actually, the Commission has proposed to further reinforce the scheme under the New Horizon Europe program by integrating it deeper in the KICS multi-annual strategy, and also by reinforcing its budget. So in that regard, all KICS, including the EIT manufacturing, need to be more open and transparent towards potential partners on their accession and exit criteria, to communicate more on the opportunities for activities and on the projects they fund, and also to give greater visibility of the achievements they have. Being an EIT KIC is certainly being part of a family, and this is the EIT community. This family will see the arrival of 2 new members in the coming years. The first one foreseen as soon as 2022 in the field of cultural and creative industries. And this will be an opportunity for more collaboration, for more working together with other sectors. By then, the EIT manufacturing will not be anymore a newcomer, and it will be able to share its successes and serve also as a role model for other newcomers. So I'm very much looking forward to this. And now to conclude, I would like to wish the best of success of the EIT manufacturing, and also to wish very fruitful and constructive discussions during this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you, Antoinetta, for that very comprehensive overview of the EIT innovation model. Obviously the start of a really exciting new adventure for EIT manufacturing, and a dedicated pillar to be expected for the EIT in general under Horizon Europe, and we will hear more about that in just a second. I'm going to squeeze in one question for you. We are a little bit over time, but just because the Horizon Europe, in Horizon Europe, the EIT will contribute with such a powerful innovation ecosystem that you've just described already. It's going to be building on Horizon 2020. What, in just very quick, concrete terms, is new in the mission of EIT and the KICS compared to Horizon 2020? Are there any areas for particular attention?
There are a lot of new things, I would say, but the overall approach is evolution, not revolution. So as I already said, the Commission proposal and the intention is to build on the strengths of the EIT and further strengthen other important aspects. And here, let me once again reiterate the importance of the regional dimension, but also of education, where the Commission has proposed also the implementation of a new action, which aims to strengthen the innovation and entrepreneurial capacity of higher education institutions, and to achieve a systemic impact in that field. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Antoinetta Angelova-Krasteva joining us from Brussels this morning. We hope she stays safe and has a wonderful and positive holiday, so that we can take off into 2021 with renewed vigor to go into obviously the new Horizon Europe budget period. Well, our next keynote, obviously, as it was announced, is from Martin Kern, who is the EIT director at the Source headquarters in the city of Budapest in Hungary. And he will, of course, explain further how the EIT community is moving forward and fostering that entrepreneurship that Antoinetta just spoke about. Welcome, Martin. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Wonderful. I hear you also loud and clear. In that case, I would like you to take it away. The floor is yours for your keynote.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to help and to be here for the opening of the EIT Manufacturing Summit 2020. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Cecilia and Klaus for what they have achieved in the first full year of operations with EIT Manufacturing, tirelessly driving forward the strategy and the agenda. And I think there's a lot to be proud of. What I would like to do today is to give you also a glimpse on what the EIT community as a whole has far, but of course also pick up from what Antonetta spoke about on how we go forward into the next 7 years, what are the priorities, and how will that of course affect the work of EIT manufacturing. So I have a few slides that I will put up and run you through. Starting with where we are today. After 10 years, EIT community has grown and matured immensely with now the 8 KICs, and of course with EIT manufacturing and EIT urban mobility coming to join and coming fully on stream this year. So we now have over 2,000 partners and 60 hubs all across Europe and even outside with a global reach and connection. And not just have we created Europe's largest innovation network, but it's now continuously delivering skills, graduates, entrepreneurship-minded people that can become innovators, helping startups to form and to grow and to scale up, and bringing concrete solutions, innovations to the market. And of course, we have the figures behind that. I think you know these figures very well, but of course, it's the stories and it's individual successes and innovations and people behind it that matter. So among the 3,000 ventures that have been supported are now already several unicorns, such as Northvolt in Sweden, producing the world's greenest batteries, supported by EIT InnoEnergy, or Lilium Aviation, that at the early stage received support from EIT Climate Kick and have a potential to revolutionize city transport with their electric jets. So these are very great achievements, and Antonetta already mentioned it. Already forward-looking, we can see EIT manufacturing after 1 year and coming forward with extremely interesting innovations. And I was also very pleased to see that yesterday at the EIT Awards, Blue Sense Diagnostics won the EIT Venture Awards. And that's, of course, an excellent achievement in the first year of operation. So congratulations to that once again. Also, what I think very notable for this year is not just that we have continued to maintain the ecosystem, which of course is not self-evident given the challenges that we have, but also did a particular crisis response. And I was also extremely pleased to see that EIT manufacturing, EIT urban mobility, in fact, the whole community strongly contributed to that. When launched this in the spring with 60 million euros, and by now there are over 200 businesses, projects that are developing and actually already bringing to the market very concrete solutions for the crisis, and also creating the basis for building a more sustainable future going forward. So EIT manufacturing has contributed a lot here as well, and taking the extra challenge. And for example, the KIC supported Clean Air, which is an innovative air conditioning solution that helps not just to clean the air, but also disinfect surfaces, really making indoor spaces safer and reducing the transmission of diseases, which is of course exactly the type of innovation that we need right now to overcome the crisis. So there is a lot to be proud of, and I think especially EIT manufacturing has delivered in its first year along the EIT model, and I think this is always worth remembering. Where is the real added value of the EIT? It not just comes from the individual innovations and startups supported, but from the community around it, and the possibility to offer the type of support, what any support that may be, that a startup, a student, or an entrepreneur, or existing SMEs, industry players need to take their innovation forward. And that, of course, means mobilizing the whole partnership, the universities, the researchers, research organizations, and the different businesses. But also, if that is helpful, to draw on the other in the EIT community, the other KICs, and also use the connections which the EIT with the Commission has to link to policymakers, to link to other funding tools. So that is the real added value for the EIT, and that's where we can derive our strengths, and that's, I think, where we can make a difference. So it is very much about the synergies, and in that context also was great to see that EIT manufacturing right from the beginning took part in many synergies projects, both at EIT community level through the cross-KIC projects that Antonetta referred to, but of course also linking to other EU initiatives. And the regional innovation scheme of the EIT is, of course, with the same design in mind, meaning that fantastic innovations that exist in some part of Europe should be disseminated, but also, of course, all the talents that exist all over Europe, because we have great talents and ideas everywhere, are being picked up and supported. So as a continent, as a European Union, we will be stronger if we cooperate and work together. That's why the regional innovation scheme is now such an important part of the EIT's community and of the EIT model. Then, of course, EIT manufacturing also rightly recognized that the success of it will depend on having the most excellent people involved in the innovations in the KIC level, because that's what the EIT stands for, that it becomes the reference point for excellence in Europe, in your field, in your societal challenges. So really happy to see that. And that will then be the basis, this community of the EIT, the community together with the other EU programs to create a European innovation area, which is something Commissioner Gabriel has also stressed yesterday when she addressed the EIT community as part of the awards. Now, what's in store going forward? Of course, Antonetta already very much gave several pointers. I will try to translate that in how this new strategy, we heard it's an evolution, not a revolution. So we build up on everything that has been achieved. How can we take the best out of that to create more impact in the EIT? First of all, I think it's to do exactly that, to take all the good elements, to make them stronger and multiply the impact, multiply the success stories that we have. And part of that also is to make the opportunities more known, because there is so many good things going on in the EIT, but because we have such a diversity with 8 KICs, so many activities, often these opportunities are not known all over Europe, and that of course means missed opportunities, because great partners, great startups, great innovators may not participate in them. So the visibility and the communication will be as important as driving forward the activities. The second point is the financial sustainability. So this is essential, and it's also an essential criteria, not just for a KIC to continue beyond the support by the EIT, but also its success will be judged on it. So I'm very happy to see that from day one, EIT manufacturing has now taken this objective very seriously, the good strategy and the ambition that also the successful innovations will give a return to the KIC to make it sustainable in the long run. This is absolute key for the model of the EIT. The third point is the openness, transparency. It links to what I mentioned before, that only if it's well understood, if it's well known, the KIC can really develop and fulfill its full potential. And there is also a commitment, I think, to be taken on the side of EIT here in the headquarters, but also, of course, in the KIC and in its management and team to keep things simple, because too much bureaucracy, too much red tape will, of course, slow down, if not kill innovations. And that is not how we can become more competitive in Europe. So EIT is strongly committed to take forward the simplification agenda. There are very positive elements in the new strategy of the Commission that it has proposed. For example, the move to more multi-annual grants, which will significantly cut down the amount of reporting that will be needed, and matching the model with what it is, that innovations are by nature long-term, need a long-term sustained effort and do not necessarily fit into annual cycles. So from our end, we will drive forward the simplification agenda, which should free resources to focus on the innovations themselves. I will not repeat what Antonetta said. The education programs, the regional outreach, these are the core elements that will also be strengthened and going forward into the next period, into the next 7 years. And of course, EIT manufacturing now has the opportunity to translate all the initial learnings and all the ambitions and principles that we see for the next 7 years into its new strategy. So of course, I encourage all of you in the partnership to bring forward your ideas so that we can have the most excellent strategy for the next 7 years that maximizes the impact for the EIT manufacturing. I think very much to be excited about is also the creation of new KICs. In particular, it seems very likely that the first new KIC will be in the field of culture and creativity. And of course, that already can imagine excellent opportunities if we bring together the fantastic, skilled, excellent manufacturing sector in Europe with the creativity, with a mindset that could come from such a KIC. So even before it's created, one can see the potential that a corporation can bring. And of course, I count on everyone that once such a KIC would be created, will start to welcome it to the community and pass on all the learning from day one. So there's a lot to be excited about going forward. Finally, of course, I would like to also pass a message to you about the future and your own strategy, building on what you have achieved very, very successfully. So I would like to see the EIT manufacturing community grow. You know, that is, I think, essential after building a strong basis, and grow in excellence and grow in numbers, of course, as well, in terms of its reach that it has with its projects across Europe. From the EIT side, we will be committed to support you to make that strategy a success that is now putting forward. And of course, we also look forward to help to link the community with the other EU programs to really strengthen the power we have as a platform, as an EIT community as a whole. So I'd like to wrap up with that. And of course, continue to take part and follow very closely your progress. You can certainly find more information also on the EIT website about other type of opportunities that may exist. And for now, I wish you a great summit. Enjoy it and stay safe.
Very much to Martin Kern. A lot of great achievements, obviously, since 2008 from the EIT, Europe's largest innovation network, and good marks for the EIT manufacturing KIC that has made the most of opportunities to increase innovation and excellence, and obviously beginning to really benefit from the synergies with the 8 other KICs, and lots of exciting news there as to where things are going in the next budgeting period. Martin, if you have just a second, I have a first question that has come in from a participant, and I'd like to put that to you. This is from Arno Gramsma, who's asking if you could just tell us very briefly how to join as a young startup.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, if I speak for the EIT community as a whole, there are numerous opportunities to join. So each of the 8 knowledge and innovation communities has their own early stage programs where they help startups with good ideas to start to make the journey from a good idea to actually become a startup and get established. We call that business creation opportunities. And then, of course, each of the knowledge and innovation communities has accelerator programs which help such startups to grow. So I think it's important for a startup first to reflect on the sector where they're active. So where could they fit into the societal challenges, and then apply, and that is best done by first addressing the closest co-location center of the KIC in question to see which of the programs could be suitable. So many of them have permanent open calls, so open door policy. If you come there, you will get directed, or there are annual calls to apply and participate. So of course, that is at the heart of the model, to find the best startups in Europe and help them to grow. And if you have any questions where to address yourself, just go to the closest co-location center and you will be quickly directed through the EIT community.
Thank you very much, Martin Kern, for addressing that question. And of course, we will be meeting up with the CLC directors of EIT Manufacturing, all 5 of them, tomorrow at the end of our morning session. Thanks very much for giving us that very comprehensive and optimistic overview, and things are looking good for the further journey of EIT Manufacturing within the family of EIT. And thanks very much for joining us from Budapest, Martin Kern. And with that, participants, it's time for me to address Just a quick reminder that all of these sessions, of course, are being recorded. So if for some reason you had to run and grab the phone or take a quick break, you will be able to go back and watch them afterwards. We're going to take a short intermission before we continue with session 3, which will look at the potential for startups as catalysts for innovation. So be sure to stretch your legs a little bit, grab a cup of tea if you can, and we will be back in a few minutes. We'll see you then.